are returning, and those of you that are new, welcome to my platform. My name is Astraea Love, and I am going to be doing a reading for you guys today. So I hope everybody's had a good day. You guys, please know that my readings are timeless, which means whenever you get to this reading, there's going to be messages in here for you. Okay. I suggest that you watch all of the readings on both of my platforms at your leisure. Each reading is going to hold an Easter egg of personal knowledge for you to decode for your own personal journey. And if you guys could get those likes up, I would greatly appreciate it. Share this content, tell other people about it. Also, if any of you guys have any personal questions, you can send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I will pause the collective reading, and I will set a 20-minute timer, and I will answer your question with another deck of cards. So know that that is available for those of you that do have questions, okay? And you'll have to forgive me if I keep repeating myself, because I know new people will be coming in all the time throughout the reading. Okay, so we're calling upon the Most High God and the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ, the Ascended Masters. We're calling upon our higher selves. We're calling upon the spiritual realm, our spiritual team of highest light and resonance, and we're asking that they come be with us now. We're calling upon the archangels, our ancestors, our spirit guides, and just asking that they put a protective shield around us, also uncloaking these messages so that they can get to the people that they need to get to. And I just want to say thank you, God. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Divine Realm, for everything that you've done for me, everything that you've done for the collective, and everything that you are doing and that you are continuing to do. We love you, we love you, we love you, and we thank you, we thank you, we thank you. And all glory, honor, worship, and praise goes to the Most High, the Divine Realm, for everything that I do. Okay. So, by watching my readings, you are agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, being responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled. Please be on your best behavior, because the Most High God is watching and the Holy Spirit is listening. By watching my readings, you're agreeing to not attack, bully, or persecute me for my calling, or anybody in the comment, anybody in the chat, or anybody at all. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about 2 books. The links to these books are in the description box below. The first book I'm going to be talking about is The Truth of God. It's an advanced intuitive living workbook written by Michael Steadman. Why I talk about this book is because I use the techniques in it all the time. So there are a few techniques that I'm just going to go over. The God technique allows you to raise out of the vibration and consciousness of your ego, and you basically raise out of that into the vibration of God, your higher self, so that you can be looking out through the eyes of Source and see things as they actually are, not as you think that they are. All right. And it's a big deal for me. The majority of my life, I've always been psychic, but I've always felt kind of trapped in the psychic realm. And even though I was in religion when I was younger, it never fostered a real connection to God, not a spiritual, inner personal connection. I'm not dissing religion. I'm just saying that that's what my experience was. So anyways, when I came across this information, I just felt like totally blessed, because the God technique gives you the ability to rise above whatever's going on so that it doesn't have to negatively affect you. The second technique I'm going to be talking about is the joy versus anger technique, which gives you the ability to ask yes and no questions so that you can get an immediate answer back. And then you can be divinely led, so that you're not having to wait and you're asking your higher self, God. It works with clairsentience, which is the gift that everybody has, which is clear feeling. So you get when you see me asking questions, I'm using the joy versus anger technique. And there's so many other techniques than just these ones that I'm talking about, but the ones that I'm talking about are the ones that I use every day. The mind technique gives you the ability to question and basically get rid of the baggage, the mental baggage, the emotional baggage, the thoughts and beliefs that keep creating certain situations. So that's a very important tool, because we are creating our reality with our thoughts and our beliefs. And then the more that we get rid of those thoughts and beliefs, the better our reality gets. Then when you see me using the 1 to 10 scale, 1 being the lowest compatible, 10 being the highest compatible, I'm using that scale to get compatibility. And that also comes from the book. And it teaches about meditation and all this other stuff too. So the second book I'm going to be talking about, okay, is a book called Vassago, Tarot Cards, Spreads, and Spells. And why this is such a superior tarot book to all others is Vassago is he's a Ars Goetia spirit that is in very, very high demand right now because everybody's like into tarot. Vassago basically is over divination, but more so like mapping the human consciousness. And Vassago works with the original tarot. So I have a link to the original Rider-Waite deck that's got description on the cards in the description box below. You'll see the link to it's not this exact deck, but it's another deck that does the same thing that this one does. You'll see that in the description box below. Welcome everybody coming into the chat. And so, yeah, you'll want to get the original Rider-Waite because Vassago and I wrote this book off of the original. And so we created it's basically a portal because you can continue to use this. Like some tarot books, you'll use a tarot card spread one time. These tarot card spreads are based upon the major arcana cards, which are the major transitions. And so this book will teach you how to learn to read cards for yourself and for other people. So it starts off with the 14 zodiac tarot card spread. It starts off with a prayer that you do, which is basically similar to the one that I do on here. And then it talks about this book being dedicated to God, and it has an initiation with Vassago so that you can learn more about his energies and why he's so important when it comes to mapping human consciousness and the tarot system. So we've created it starts off with a 14 zodiac tarot card spread. For each zodiac position, you will pull 2 cards, one for your south node, which is your ego, and one for your north node, which is your destiny. And then the spell that goes along with that is to help you step into your own destiny. And it is like a money spell as well. I'm going to read a little bit from I think I want to read from the Star. So then I have different tarot card spreads for the major arcana cards. So for example, the Chariot tarot card spells to remove obstacles. The Strength is to become stronger. The Hermit is to find one's inner light. The Wheel of Fortune is to obtain good fortune. Okay, so I'm going to read from the Star. So everything that you see on the major arcana card, there is going to be a position in the tarot card spread for that major arcana card. So the Star, where are you? Okay, so this is the Star card. The Star tarot card is number 17. Answers yes, zodiac is Aquarius. This is the card of inspiration, insight, intuition, and hope. Any dreams for the future will come true. The gift of prophecy. Contact with someone who will dramatically change your life. Predicts a strong love between 2 people. Entering a period of serenity, joy, and satisfaction. A calm period of contemplation or meditation. Deja vu, good dreams, psychic downloads from the universe. All emotional needs are met. Use your spiritual gifts and share your good fortune. So you'll pull 1 card for each position. I'm going to skip because I've read these other spots before. I'm going to read position 3, Star Essence. The card that you pull for this position shows your divinationary gifts, talents, ESP, psychic, intuitive talents. If you have any archetypal connections, planetary alignment, and natural star quality, this can be revealed to you through the card that you pull for this position. Your star essence or star trait may be hinted to. You may become aware of more gifts and talents than you knew were there. How social, approachable, and non-judgmental you are may be revealed here. If your star trait is a star quality that is very high, you can pull the Star Tarot card for this position. If you are in alignment with your divine life purpose and are in your North Node, you could pull the High Priestess Tarot card for this position, and then you would know that you're in alignment with good fortune. You can also use the Yes and No Answer Tarot card that you pull for this position to help you guide you into greater alignment. If you were to pull the Star in the reverse, then you will know that your star trait or star quality is hidden, or the time for fame and good fortune has passed you by. Position 4 is the Comet Chiron. The Comet Chiron holds karmic energy and heals personal inner wounds. Its energies are very healing and restorative. Chiron is also known as the wounded healer. If you are in the need of healing, That may come up in the card that you pull for this position. If you are trying to deny that you need healing, that can also be revealed in the card that you pull for this position. Chiron is in the natal chart, represents your deepest spiritual wounds and can show you where you may have been having habitual issues. When problems do not go away, they can come back to bite you in the card that you pull for this position. If you pull the Lover's Tarot card for this position, it will show you that your love life needs healing. If you pull the Hierophant Tarot card for this position, then you will know that there are wounds that need to be healed in relation to your religious or spiritual path. If you pull the Star Tarot card for this position, it shows you that you are in alignment for the healing that needs to take place. If you pull the High Priestess Tarot card for this position, then you will know that you have deep healing, hidden knowledge, and sacred healing insights within. If you pull the Death Tarot card, then you will know that there is a possibility of become fatally wounded yourself or someone around you. If you pull the Nine of Wands for this position, you will know that you are in the state of the wounded healer right now. Okay. And then the Star Tarot card spell is to manifest a wish. Then I'm going to read from the star in the back of the book. So in the back of the book, I have a compendium of knowledge of what it could mean when the different major arcana cards come out one next to each other. Welcome everybody coming into the chat. The star is a card of inspiration, divination, astrology, predictions, prophecy, destiny, dreams, and wishes come true. The star can show you what traits and qualities that you naturally possess that enhance the quality of your life and the life of those around you. Psychic impressions and spiritual intuition, mental fitness, and powerful third eye awareness. The star has a spark of passion that cannot be put out. When you pull the star card with any other card, it could indicate that the abilities that you have in relation to the cards that are surrounding the star, either on both sides. If you pull the star and then the Fool card, it can indicate that you're not aware of your star power. If you pull the star in the reverse and then you pull the devil, it could indicate that you need to call your energy and power back to you and rebuke the devil in your life. The star in the reverse indicates that a mental illness can affect you or the ones that you love. The star in the reverse indicates a loss of hope and a loss of psychic insight into problems. A star in the reverse is an imposter and a copycat or a doppelganger. The star in the reverse has no natural talent or skill. They lack motivation, are insecure, and always doubt everything. When you pull the star in the reverse and then pull the devil card, it can indicate that someone is getting their star power through the devil and that their fame will be fleeting along with their success. The star in the reverse is lazy, dull, and boring. They do not shine. So check this book out, you guys. I've got the link to Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells, and I've got the link to The Truth of God by Michael Steadman. And I even have a link to a original Rider-Waite tarot deck that's got the description on the cards. And that's all you need to get started working on that stuff. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. So yeah, if you guys have any personal questions, you can send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I will pause the collective reading, and I'll set a 20-minute timer, and I will answer your question, okay? Just to let you guys know. That is the way I'm making myself available. But anyways, I was just like, before I decided to do this reading, I was sitting here and I was listening to, a video about the files and about how Michael Jackson is listed in the files. And I always knew that he was innocent. I always knew he was innocent. The files basically confirm it. So Mr. Epstein basically said, I hate Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's ranch was like, and we're talking about this because like everything that's done in the dark will come to the light. But his Never Neverland ranch, like the video made me think about it, and it makes sense to me. Well, I always picked up that he wasn't a perv, but that's not the point. It's just double confirmed it. And so in the files, Epstein is like, I hate Michael Jackson. He keeps me away from my toys, which is considered like children, right? And so his ranch was to save people, to save children. And yeah, even his last phone call that I listened to, not only does it confirm in the files that he's not a perv, that he was against everything that Epstein was doing. And this is why Epstein hated him so much. But on his last phone call, I was listening to that, and he was basically talking about how they were going to put him to sleep, and because he's saving the kids and not down for the dumb shit. Happy Thursday, you guys. A happy day, whatever day it is that you're watching this. But I just wanted to share that. For any of you that thought that he was guilty of the shit he was accused of, I always was like, I don't get that he is. And then this information coming out and everything like that, it's just like everything that's done in the dark will come to the light. So just know that when it comes to your situation, when it comes to other people's situations. So I feel like it's a good thing that the darkness is coming to the light, even though it's like really hard to look at the dark shit. It's okay. We're not alone. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys because I was like always like not picking up any type of weird vibration from him. And I was like, God, why are all of these people lying? It's because they were going to get money. That's why. But yeah, really unfortunate that you know, the crazier shit. Okay, what Michael Jackson said was like, it's not me, it's the one down the street. Now, who lives down the street from Michael Jackson? Diddy. Diddy was like a few houses down from Michael Jackson. That's crazy, yo. And when he was saying that, we are like, oh, you sicko, you're just trying to blame other people. Like, I'm serious. People came down so hard on him. And I don't mean to laugh about that, but literally, he was literally telling us the truth. Like, there's been so many times where we have been told the truth and we just denied it because it's too horrific to think about. So I feel like, you know, you always use your discernment. My discernment always told me that he was not the person that they said he was. And so, you know, I didn't feel like he had done anything wrong. And now it's actually proven. All right, so we're going to see what darkness we're going to shed on light. Shed on light. We're going to shed that darkness on the light. No, we're going to, the lightness, the light's going to shed on the darkness, however you say it. What happens in the dark will always come to the light. Why? Because it's meant to. The Hierophant. Like always, doesn't it always seem like it's like a religious group or something? If you guys could like the video, I would greatly appreciate it. It would help this platform so much, you guys. Also, I have another platform called the Psychic Tarot Angel Oracle. On that platform, I use tarot cards and oracle cards. And we're working to getting to 1,000 subscribers over there. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers, then I can accept super chats on that platform as well, per question. So the Hierophant, what does the Hierophant represent? The Hierophant could represent a teacher, a shaman. This person looks like a pope. Those people look like priests. Could represent a cult, a secret society, a coven, a group of people, you know, a dark cabal. Like it could literally represent just about any of those things. And I feel like a lot of the time, well, you know, I try not to judge religious organizations, but I just feel like there's a sliver of truth mixed in with a bunch of bullshit when it comes to any type of Freemasonry, Satanism, whatever else. Like there could be good things about it, but then there's this other crap that's mixed in with it. And this is where I feel like, I don't feel like there's a traditional devil per se, but I do know that there are low vibrational energies that are demonic, okay? But I don't think that there's like a traditional devil sitting on a throne. Same way I don't think that there's a God sitting on a throne. I think that's all a metaphor. But yeah, the Hierophant energy is like people that have higher learning. They could be, you know, like highly educated. Let's just say that. These are people that want spiritual growth, but then they want to stick to their old way of like whatever they're reading from. If it's the Bible, if it's the Quran, if it's the Torah. I think those are the three I know about. It could be anything, okay? A satanic Bible, whatever it is. Like they want to stick to this doctrine. The book of, was it the Book of Mormon? I think that's what's called. It could be any of these texts or even a different one. Yeah. These people want to stick to the same type of doctrine or whatever. And like it could be a belief system, you know. And so they don't want to change because they're just used to, first of all, them being able to get away with whatever the fuck this is. They're used to this. They're also used to scamming money out of people. Like, I feel like, you know, like I grew up in Catholicism, and there was not like a certain, like you had to pay, like I was in Catholic school, so I think you had to pay tuition for that, but to go to church, anybody could go to church. Like they didn't have any type of like, oh, you can't come in here type shit going on. Okay. Anybody could go at any time. You couldn't participate in the communion unless you took the classes and knew what it was about, but like anybody could go. I feel like these hierophants, they want to be like, in a way, they want to use doctrine to exclude people, but that's not what God is about. God is not about excluding the LGBTQ plus. People believe that because of what's written in the Bible, but God is only positive vibrations: love, joy, peace, compassion. I don't say forgiveness because there's no judgment with God. God gave us free will and is allowing us to have our experiences. And the thing about God is a timeless energy. It's beyond what we can even perceive. We think we can understand love, but we don't really understand love because God loves us in ways that we don't even know how to love ourselves. God will sit around forever and wait for every single last part of its creation to turn back to going within to the divine. So this is why I feel like I'm a type of person where I become impatient when I see things continue to go on, where God's patience, some people, they commit atrocious crimes and do bad acts against people, and they get away with it for a very long time, and then they believe that it's okay to do this shit because they haven't gotten in trouble. And no, they had grace and mercy over their life. Like I said, God does not repay us in the way that we deserve. Like I can definitely say that. There's even one of the Psalms that says, God, please forgive me for the folly of my youth, like being young and dumb and just not knowing anything about the world, but thinking you know everything. I was one of those kids, thought I knew everything when I was younger. So this Hierophant group, whatever this is to you, they're like, come on, donations. And again, like the Catholic Church, they just passed around like a little basket, and you could give if you wanted to. You didn't have to. Other religions, I feel like the religions that are starting up today, or other religions or new spiritual groups, a lot of them are requiring for people to give a certain percentage, or for them to give a certain amount of money to whatever it is, to whatever Hierophant person. And that could be a pastor, a preacher, whatever. You will know these people by their fruits, okay? Just know that. So when you guys are singled out in the way that you're not going to these organizations and offering up a percentage of your paycheck or your income, I would say that singles you out as an individual, being more spiritual. Also, I don't know if you guys are experiencing this, but my whole body's been vibrating for like 2 days now. Like my feet, my legs, it's kind of annoying. I don't know what the hell that is. But yeah, these people need to choose the moral path and stop being so obsessed with money. I feel like that's what would get them the views and whatever it is that they need, like people showing up, is if they would just be like straightforward and honest and not act so high and mighty and better than everybody else. This Hierophant group has to walk away from whatever they were doing in the background. And your ears ringing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was experiencing that yesterday as well. Yeah, they got to walk away from trying to brain control or mind control the masses to give their money away. I feel like in this day and age, people don't want to be like, especially with the power, with everything going, it's all a power play over the economics and everything, with all of the prices on food and everything going up. These Hierophant groups, they feel like they're losing power, and they feel also like helpless to it because people have other expenses that they have to pay. So that extra money that they could have donated to the church or to a religious organization or whatever, or a spiritual group or coven, cult, whatever, it's not being donated because it doesn't exist. There's not a whole lot of extra. And the world is doing a very weird thing. Like, the world has always been trying to extort money out of people and resources out of people. I mean, this planet does not suffer from a lack of resources, it suffers from a lack of love. And energy could be free. The government could set it up so that it's free. I'm sorry, but it's just everything. If they could fucking charge us for air, they would charge us for air. And it all stems from, well, I guess from maybe churches, the Catholic Church. I don't know if they ever forced anybody to pay money, but it does stem from England. This tax everybody, not let anybody own anything and tax them forever type shit. That mentality of abusing the public, that we came from England. We came with that cunt of a mentality, and I will call England a cunt. How many countries have to have an Independence Day because of that country? So anyways, and they think they're better than everybody else because they have a king. There's lots of other kings and queens on the planet. And I'm not dissing England. I'm just saying that, like, literally, well, I don't agree with taxing people. I just don't. Like, maybe a one-time sales tax, but why they feel it's necessary to tax the fucking income every year. I know that that's the way the government makes money, but does that seem lawful? No, it doesn't. Not to me. I think you should not have to pay taxes on your house after you buy it, but whatever. And on a car, like a one-time sales tax. These hierophants, they are living tax-free. Like, their organizations are, because they're churches and whatever it does that makes you qualify so that it's tax-free. These people don't have to fucking worry about anything. They're already set up. Like, this is why I do not understand why they want to single out the regular schmegular person that doesn't want to attend their bullshit. I mean, religions are going to die out. They are. Like, there's going to be a mass awakening of people who awaken and go like, holy shit, I was brainwashed. Like, I'm going to invest in myself. People that had all of this extra money before to donate and stuff like that, maybe they don't have it now. And so it's like taxation without representation. Exactly. Now it's like, these people already have enough resources. This is why I feel like it's super weird that they want your resources and they have to walk away from this. Maybe they have to relocate. I'm not even getting that they have to relocate. They have enough to pay their own people and to pay for whatever resources they need. I mean, what in the hell? It's like they don't need all of this extra money coming from people, and people are going to stop giving to these religious organizations. And not only their time, because time is money, but they're going to stop giving their attention, their life over, signing their life over to whatever way of living. And that's going to create a whole population of people who are either atheist or they're spiritual. And the church sees this as a major problem. The churches, the religious organizations, the hierarchies, they see this as a major problem because they're losing members left and right, and people just don't want to join. They would rather do their own thing and not have to pay a certain amount of money per month. And what it comes down to, it doesn't come down to anything that has to do with Jesus, Muhammad, God, Allah, none of that. It has to do with fucking resources. That's it. Okay. And these people are operating from the mindset that they don't have enough when they have way more than enough to take care of whatever responsibility, to keep the lights on in the church or whatever. And keep people fed. They've got enough. This is what I'm saying. Like, they have enough. But they look at people like you, like me, as a threat, and they start to attack us because we're not feeding into their system. Knight of Cups. Yeah, no matter how charming they come across, it's a no. And it's more likely for a lot of people, it's a no because of a spiritual reason. Because again, if these religions are saying, "Oh, you can't be how God made you. You can't be who you are." Like, who the fuck are they to say that? Seriously. You can't be LGBTQ plus. You can't be a psychic. You can't be a prophet. Like, who the fuck are they to say that? They're, these people act like they actually created us when they didn't. God created us. So if God created us the way that God created us, and I do not believe that people are inherently sinful from birth, that's ridiculous. That's stupid as shit. That's always been a weird thing that I've been like, my mind's been like, what the fuck? Like, what? Why are they saying this? But yeah, these people want you to believe that you need them. And you guys are figuring out that you don't need to go to church to have a connection with God, that you can go within yourself and create one. Literally. Seven of Swords. And these people know that the only correct, they've already tricked a lot of people throughout time. They know damn well with the Seven of Swords that every decision that they've made up until now has been a bad decision. And so they have the opportunity to do something right. And I just can't get behind organizations that have people that are in the files, that are PDF files. Anytime I find out a religious organization has that going on, I am immediately disgusted and want to detach from that. Okay. Not only did it not foster for me a relationship with God, and I went the majority of my life needing one, but then there's people in the organization that are just not right. Ace of Wands. And they fear you guys. Why are we even talking about this? Because the darkness will come to light. These organizations, they use a lot of rituals that don't do anything. I feel like, well, if their rituals were designed differently, I don't know who gave these people these rituals, but I'm telling you, if the rituals for a lot of these organizations, if they were designed differently, they would probably do something. But yeah, there should be no reason that any person should have to get more than one exorcism done. Like, the fuck? Like, no, that's playing a game. We don't play games like that. And I totally understand people being like, oh, I have something going on. I understand that. But I still don't feel like whatever this crap is working. And they know that it's not working. This is a great time for you guys to begin new projects, for you guys to like literally invest in yourselves, invest in your families, to start something new. And you guys are, this next generation of people, of humans, is not going to be raised with like these weird ideals, and where I think what it has to do with is you don't have a loyalty to like a religion or whatever, and the people in those religions, they feel like they feel bound and trapped and obligated, and they want everybody else to. And so if you're getting a lot of jealousy, that's where it's coming from. Okay, people that just have different beliefs. Again, I could never get behind the reason. There's multiple reasons why. For each religion, I have reasons why I don't agree with it. Like, I have my own reasons. You have your own reasons. We're not going to change our stance on that. Any religion that says it's okay to beat your wife, okay, like, or any other, I don't even know if that exists in any others. I think Buddhism is pretty peaceful, but any religion that's going to be approving and treating women or children like animals and not like people, I don't respect that. And I feel like the majority of the population is growing to understand that, yeah, there's a bunch of holes and it's not making this thing holy. It's just a bunch of like things not connecting, not making fucking sense, that make it very hard for people to buy into religion. Okay. And that's what these people don't understand. That's what these people that have already bought into religion, they think that religion is the only way, and they think that their way is the only way. But Jesus even said, you can get to God through many different doors in the mansion. However, depends on what door you pick, how long it's going to take you to get to God. And you don't want to have to wait till you're dead to like try to have an experience when you can have, it's always going to be right now. Tomorrow will be right now, because there's nothing other than the moment of right now. Only in our thoughts we have the past, but even yesterday it was still right now. So you can connect with God right now. You can get the truth of God and develop your own connection like I did right now. The Three of Swords. These people, they feel like you don't have any loyalty to them and to their organizations. And so they consider everybody that doesn't have a loyalty to them to be a threat. Is that actually true? No, we're not threatening these, because again, there are many people that believe what these people believe. So we're not threatening their organization by us being independent people. We just are not going to be raising our children, in things that, first of all, that require us to give so much of our time, energy, and money to. No, that's ridiculous. But in this day and age, it's unrealistic to expect anybody to be giving a portion of their paycheck to whatever. It just is, unless it's a bill. And again, this is something that's religious. Religion is like an extracurricular activity. It really is. It's not something that's mandatory for every human, not at least in the United States. I don't know about other countries. Two of Wands. And furthermore, if leaving a religion warrants you getting murdered or killed or unalived, I think that that's very inappropriate. Okay. I don't think that God wants people going around killing other people. Especially not over some religious shit. So people are waking up to this truth. The Two of Wands is like, you're looking at the world like it's your oyster. You're like, okay, what can I do next? Now that you're not being limited by a belief system or a group of people or a hierarchy, you can do whatever you want. Freedom of whatever you believe. Exactly. And where a lot of these religious practices come from very old times, I think, Muhammad married and slept with a 9-year-old. That was his cousin. Now, like, there's multiple things with that I have problems with, and pedophilia is one of those. Okay. I think it's just inappropriate, and it should not be normalized in any type of way. But I also respect other people's cultures and their beliefs if that's what they want to believe. And I feel like if they would just stay in their own lane with their own type of people, instead of trying to ensnare and enslave everyone. I mean, first of all, these rituals that these organizations do to ensnare people don't even work. Secondly, God doesn't get behind that shit, and that's probably why they don't work. But yeah, I feel like these organizations fear you guys because you could be truth speakers. You could be people that are not going to raise your children according to whatever these rules and regulations are. And I feel like if you just raise your children to be good people, you will do just fine, and so will they. You raise them, children. Raise them as you wish that you would have been raised. If you weren't taught unconditional love, unconditionally love yourself. Give yourself that unconditional love, because I guarantee that your children are going to be better with you being their teacher rather than, whatever this hierarchy is that is known to abuse children specifically. And this is what I'm getting, is that the future, all of these things are going to die out and fizzle out. And that could pave the way for a one world order. I could definitely see how that could happen. But yeah, it's just going to be a thing of the past in the future. The next generation of people are not going to buy into this shit. Like, they're just smarter. People need to understand that when we continue to have children and create more humans, those humans it's evolution. They become smarter than we were. And where our parents possibly were brainwashed and indoctrinated into this type of stuff, confirmation, but we have the free will to choose and think what we want and to do what we want. And basically, because there's a whole population of people probably my age and younger that are not wanting to buy into this stuff. These groups have a problem with that. And it's okay for them to have a problem with it. I understand. They're afraid that they're not going to have the resources because they're not getting it from everybody. Oh, well, Three of Pentacles. They're afraid of losing a collaboration. They're afraid of losing a soul tribe. They don't really have a soul tribe, to be quite honest. I think that church is more, and religion is going to become more of a social thing than anything else. It's like where you go to meet people that, you know, have the same type of belief as you, or same type of culture or background or whatever, that you could meet people. I feel like it's more of a social construct anyways. Yeah, this is a perfect time for you guys to begin new projects. You're going to have a lot of people that back you, and this is the time of enlightenment now. It's not the time of sacrifice, you know, another person. That's over. So you don't have to show loyalty to these organizations. You can still be allowed to live and not show loyalty. I would just make sure, if you're going to travel out of the country, do your research about where you're going and the type of people that live there, okay? Just do your due diligence. These organizations, they want to put themselves before everybody else. Their needs and the needs of their organization come before the needs of the human population, and I disagree with that. I think that that's self-destructive. When you know, and these people, their illegal and immoral actions betraying the general public is going to lead them to public shame and dishonor. Yeah. And your children are just going to be smarter, you know. They're not going to have to go through the initiatory process of religion. And I think that that's a blessing, because, and this may bother some people. It may bother somebody, because my ear is like itching and it's really hot. It's like steam coming out of my ears. So yeah, this may bother some people. I mean, they could be very well afraid of like the transition of power, but it's a natural thing. The times are going to change. It's like, you know, thinking that everything is always going to stay the same is kind of stupid. King of Cups. These people could be, they could have a financial advisor that's telling them, hey, you know, we're not getting that monthly thing coming in. What's going on? Finances are looking a little shady in the future. Yeah. And I feel like, you know, in this time, religion is one of the biggest thing that divides us. It really does. It's a divider of people. And there's going to be a whole collaboration of people that have an awakening, that are going to be walking away from these old traditions and wanting to walk into something new. And this is what you guys are here for, is the new age of Aquarius. We're bringing the new enlightenment in. And I feel like, you know, you guys being the star, being the one that is looked to for answers or looked to for inspiration, that's a blessing. Your children are going to carry these star abilities as well. Interesting. 5 of Wands. Because these people feel like they need to compete with you. And there is no competition. There really is not a competition. These people are just very greedy, and they have a lot of lust for power, and they feel like they're losing power like every day. They're like, damn, the numbers are going down. Shit keeps happening. We're getting taken to court, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, you know, they have to understand that there's a time for change, and the time of change is now. Emperor, because, and again, you guys are not old, but you still are the emperor. You've mastered your emotions. You've mastered this way of thinking. And, you know, you could also get your star trade abilities from your father. But, yeah, you having your own connection is going to be so much more powerful and a fast track than relying on somebody else's connection, which is what priests and stuff are for, right? Because people don't believe that they can just go talk to God whenever, you know, they have to have a priest or whatever. And they used to gatekeep the knowledge hardcore by having everything in Latin and having people not be allowed to read. But that now that it's just like out there, people are just not interested in it. Not like they used to be, because it's not forced upon us. Queen of Pentacles. This is a thing. If, you know, I feel like if you guys were giving to these organizations or in them, you wouldn't be able to be an abundant person. And this is what these organizations need to understand, is the fact that they are not, you know, Jesus didn't ask for people's money. Like Jesus went and helped the poor. He went and he preached to the poor. He had people of all walks of life follow him. Like maybe not literally follow him around, but like actually listen to what he had to say. And so they all had questions, they all had doubts, but he was able to answer every question and debunk every doubt because he had a real connection with God. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, you can have the same exact thing. And I get that these people just want you powerless. They want you not able to choose for yourself. They want you restricted. And yeah, they're competing. 10 of Wands. They're competing. It's like the whole construct of society is all some weird ass competition where everybody's fighting over resources, everybody's competing for jobs. It's like, does it need to be that way? No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. It's just that's the way that, you know, people are sold the American dream, and it's not, that's not what people think it is. 7 of Wands. You've definitely had to defend yourself from people who are on the dumb shit. I feel like you could have people being like, oh, how come you don't go to church anymore? How come you don't do this anymore? How come you don't go to temple anymore? Whatever it is. And you're like, because I don't have money and I don't have time. I'm working all the time. I'm taking care of my kids. I'm being busy. I'm being productive. And you can have a relationship with God, you just being with yourself. And that's what they didn't want anybody to know. I feel like you guys have stood up for yourself many times. You could have family members that are like, da-da-da-da-da about religion. I feel like, you know, just allow these people who are in religious psychosis to be in religious psychosis. Don't try to break that out of them. Because, again, they'll wake up eventually and realize, oh, this was all a game. This was all a game. Knight of Swords. So there is somebody that could be in the military. These people could be definitely burdened. Who is the Knight of Swords? Can I get clarification? Oh, is the Knight of Swords somebody that's in the Hierophant group? Yes. Okay. So yeah, these people could consider themselves to be like prayer warriors or something like that. Some type of something. Knights Templar, something. But they just need to understand that, you know, not everybody thinks the same. And that's okay. Page of Swords. Because these people are wanting to watch you and they want to know where you're going, what you're doing, why you're not choosing them, all of that stuff. I feel like because you guys do have a real relationship with God yourselves, within which is your higher self, I feel like it threatens these people. It threatens what they think that they know, which is knowledge that is written by somebody that's not alive, but that threatens what they think that they know. And that's scary for them. And I understand the fear of the unknown, but there's people that are going to be pioneers like us. In French, it doesn't matter who. Yeah. There's going to be people that are pioneers like us that are like not going to go with whatever the old agenda was. Wheel of Fortune. Because we know that the Wheel of Fortune lies with us. It lies with our own connection. And you defending your fate, your destiny, and your finances from an organization that would strip you of that shit, I feel like that's a good thing, you defending yourself. You having to stick up for yourself, that's okay. Somebody is trying to put a great amount of pressure on you, like a intense amount of pressure on you. Tell this person to get out of your energy. I would say, whoever this is, get out of my energy. Stay away. Archangel Michael, get rid of whoever this person is. These people can watch. That's all they can do is watch. Personal relationship with God. Yeah. 9 of Cups, because you're getting your wishes fulfilled. The Wheel of Fortune and the 9 of Cups, that's like the best energy ever. And if you have to defend your peace and your sanity, then do so. But I feel like you just standing up for yourself is defense. You know, you're saying, hey, I have my own thoughts, my own beliefs, my own perspective, and my own connection. And so I don't need Jesus because I have a connection to God. You only need, like, it's just like using Jesus's connection to God is weird to me because we all have our own connection to God, our higher selves. And that doesn't discredit Jesus. Jesus was fucking awesome. Still is. Jesus is going to be an amazing, beautiful energy today and tomorrow, and a great role model, you know? But I do feel like Jesus wants us all to have our own connection to God and not rely on Jesus for everything, which makes sense to me. It makes total sense. Temperance. Yeah. Like Archangel Michael. Whoever this person that keeps wanting to play in your energy, they've got to go. Because it's really not anybody's business. Like, you're not like on a talk show being questioned, like needing to answer things about yourself. I feel like if these people are that nosy, because they're burdened, you know, all of this spying on you, watching you and shit like that. Yeah, Jesus is not into witchcraft, but I will tell you that everything that Jesus did, probably the people back then considered it to be witchcraft, because turning water into wine would look like witchcraft. Four of Cups. Literally. These people are bored. They're focused solely on material possessions. This is one reason why they're not winning. And they're self-absorbed. They're not focused on the general well-being of people. And that's, if they would change their approach, things would look different for them, you know? But their approach is not to help people. It's how much and this seems like everything in America is, how much can we get out of a person? All of these food chains that are closing down, and all of this stuff, like being overpriced. People just don't want to spend their money on shit that's overpriced. They don't want to give their money to organizations that are crooked. That's just the way that things are changing. And it's okay for things to change, you know? And I also get that, you know, a lot of the things that have been spoken about you were inaccurate. They're just not even accurate to your personality. So these people, you know, they've got to answer to a higher power at this point, as to why they won't leave you alone. Two of Swords, because they're being blocked by Archangel Michael. Yeah, like these people keep promising to resolve issues that they have with themselves and with God, but it never gets resolved. And it just keeps going on forever and ever. And people are going to walk away from that. I mean, they already are. Eight of Wands. It's got these people at a crossroads, though. The crossroads is like, if you don't know what a crossroads is like this. Like you could go north, south, east, or west. It's four directions, right? So that just shows you that there's like a lot of different ways that these people could go. If they would just update their shit and make it more modern and include all types of people, you know, like Jesus included everybody and never discriminated. If they would just do what Jesus was actually doing, then they would actually reach people. But there's so many people that are smarter than, you know, these deceptions and tricks, that it's just not going to go anymore. Painting this certain illusion it's not believable because it's not authentic. And when things are not authentic, you know, like maybe some of the people in these organizations do have the intention to help people, but, you know, not enough of them. The world, this is what I'm saying. They have so much extra money. Why are they even tripping on not having yours? That's what I'm saying. Like, these organizations have a lot of resources and they're not being taxed like every other person is, you know? Knight of Pentacles. They feel like they've worked very, very hard to get to where they're at, and they have every right to feel that way. But what they don't have the right to do is be like, first of all, they don't have the right to be like, you have to forfeit something to us. You have to give us this. They don't have the right to say that. Doesn't matter how hard they've worked. When their fruit is bullshit, that's what they're going to get. And I don't feel like these people are even in any type of dire circumstance where things are going to shut down for them. No, they're just not making a killing off of people like they used to. That's all this is. 5 of Cups. Crying over spilt milk. Wish, shoulda, coulda, woulda type stuff. They just need to update things, like change them up a little. I mean, I guess they should just stop doing whatever they're doing, because if they have to, in my mind, if they have to change everything about what they're doing, then they probably just need to start over, start something new. And I don't think there's going to be new religion starting. I really don't pick up on that. 5 of Pentacles. These people are worrying about shit that has not even happened, that will not even happen. I mean, if they continue to be on this relentless pursuit for money, they will end up in the 5 of Pentacles. But I mean, this is like a long ways away. Like all of these organizations running completely out of resources, that's not going to happen for probably another 20 or 30 years. So like I said, they just need to listen to this financial advisor that they have and stop doing things that are dark, that are not right. Justice, because justice will be served to the world. I also get that you guys could be getting a new job. You could be going to a new place. You could be getting a new home soon. You could be getting a new offer. You're not going to be around the same people that you were around in the past. I can tell you that. So you may just want to say goodbye to some of these people because they didn't have your highest and best good in mind. Anytime you're dealing with somebody that you have to fit inside the box that they made in their mind, that's not allowing you to be yourself. I want you guys to legit be yourselves and know that it's okay. I mean, unless you're like a rapist or a child PDF file or a serial unaliver, then I would say if that's what being yourself is, maybe go within. But still, I want people to be who they actually are and not feel like they have to fit in. If to have a friendship, for say, if you have a friend that makes you try to fit into the box that they need you to fit in, what is that doing for you? That's only doing something for them. And literally, you just have to know that people, the moment that you don't fit into the box that they made for you, which is a cage, then they're going to flip on you. And so just be ready for that. When people get down and out and they know that they're, at the rock bottom, they're going to flip out because they see you being stable, being taken care of. And they're like, well, how come that person's fine? Confirmation. How come they're not struggling? It's because you're not donating your time to things that are not for your highest and best good. See, I don't look at the universe as being evil or people being sinners. I just look at everything as it either is in alignment with your higher self, which is love, joy, compassion, and peace, or it's not. And so we don't have to put any extra judgment on that. Confirmation. This person is like, well, these people, they want to put all this extra judgment on what should be accepted and what should not be accepted while they're over here breaking the rules. And it's like they're being bigot, saying that, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, but then they're over here doing it. And then, a lot of at least Christianity, it's like people just, they think that they can just continue to make mistakes and then confess to it and never have a consequence. No, universal law, the law of attraction, shows you what you put out, you get back. If you make a bad decision and you beat somebody every day, that energy will come back to you. And you think you can control the way you send it out, but you don't control the way the universe sends it back to you. The universe could wait till another life for that energy to come back to you. And that would be unfortunate, to be an innocent person in another life and be like, why the hell is all of this happening? You know what I mean? And not be able to figure it out. That would be sad. So I feel like you guys are the energies that, you know, just like Christ was a teacher, you guys are those types of energies. And not to say that you are Jesus, but you are more in alignment with Jesus than these people are. And so if you've got friends that have different beliefs, that's cool. That different cultures, I love diversity. I just feel like, you know, these people want you to spend your time investing in what they have going on. And right now you're being told to go within and invest in yourself, in your own connection to God, in this body of work that's going to inspire thousands and thousands of people. You know, yes, they've gotten away with it for a generation, and that time is over now. With the new age of Aquarius, it's basically done. And this work that you're going to do, it could be a testimony that you're going to write into a book. It could be art that you create. It could be something else that you do. It could be anything. It's going to bring about justice for a lot of people. So don't be giving up on yourself. When you see people wanting to know specifically how you're doing something, what you're doing, where you're going, who you're with, you have to like question, why do people want to know those intimate details about you? There would be certain things about yourself that I would just not give out to people. And if you have people that are giving you gifts all the time and you're like, why am they keep giving me gifts? That's a sign of destiny swapping. Just be aware of that. They're like, here, I'll give you a gift, then I get to take your gift. And that's literally how some people think. It's like, no, you cannot be, you're the type of person that cannot be bought or sold. This Eight of Pentacles work that you do is protected divinely. Seven of Pentacles. Because these people know that the tables are turning in your favor. Which means they're shit out of luck. They just need to find new jobs. These people, you are dealing with one person at least that wanted you to have to quit your job and start something else. Like they always, you could be dealing with one person that is always wanting you to start over because it gives them satisfaction to see you have to start over from beginning, and that everything, they want everything that you invest in and everything that you do to not produce any fruits. And this is what's happening to them now. Because they should have never had that intention. And anybody that's going to like, you know, just watch you squirm and get off on that, that person is not, my ear just started ringing so loud. That person is not meant to be in your life, okay? If they're going to just sit there and like enjoy to see you suffer, like that's crazy. When they could clearly do something. These people are not struggling for resources, not yet. But yeah, they could have even taken some of the money that they had and invested it into a charity or helping others. Like there's certain things that people in power that have the resources could be doing to help the public, but they don't do it. High Priestess, and we know about it. We can see right through it. This is why we're not like, let's get the likes up, you guys, please and thank you. We're not trying to sit around. First of all, we're not sitting around waiting for anything to come save us. We know that we can go straight to God and save ourselves and choose better thoughts and not associate with us being our thoughts, because we are not our thoughts. But yeah, we know that we can shape our own reality. We're not sitting around waiting for Jesus to come back and fix it. We're going to fix it ourselves. We have that power. That's the work that we do on ourselves. That's the work that we do for the public. It's like somebody wants to paint you out to be a monster, and you intuitively know who this person is. They're like wanting to see, they're wanting other people to see you the way that they want. And they don't even see you as a monster. They see you as an angel, but it bothers them because they're not the same way. Not everybody's going to be the same. Seven of Cups. Yeah, they're pissed off because they're stuck in their dark side here, in their shadow. They can't balance it, and they've drank from all these illusions, which is really weird to me. You could be dealing with somebody that keeps making things up. Like They keep adding things. Like, they just think that you could be dealing with a group of people that think that you're stupid. I'm serious, and I don't mean to offend you, but these people could literally think that you're dumb. Like, when people come after me and they start mentioning things that are not even in scripture, not even in the Bible, I'm like, you're making shit the fuck up. Straight up. I will say it to people's faces. And they get called on their bullshit because they're so used to everybody else just believing everything that they say. Like we can't just use our phone to look it up. Like, come on. I think that that's funny though. This person is wishing for something and that's all they're doing. Instead of getting in, like, see, when you say a prayer, you do an affirmation, you want your consciousness, your energy, your belief system to align with the outcome of that affirmation. You don't ask for anything that you don't believe that you can receive, because that's just a waste of time. But I will tell you, when you do affirmations, it gets your mind going in a new, it's like creating new nerve pathways for your mind to create something new. Even if you have to fake it till you make it with the affirmation, not feeling that you are whatever the affirmation is or that you have whatever the affirmation is. The point of affirming it is getting your mind to go in a new direction. These people, they want you to like go in an old direction, and somebody is literally sitting around just wishing. Wishing is not going to do anything. Wishing without action. First of all, jinns are not even supposed to, they don't even grant wishes. I don't know where that shit came from, but that's not what their purpose is. I don't know what their purpose is, but it's not for that. Secondly, this person, they just keep sitting around, and if you were to start hanging out with a friend or being around any partner, any person, and the moment that you're around them, you keep telling them your dreams, and then they go pursue that dream, and then you don't achieve whatever it is, that's a destiny thief. Like, if somebody is like literally going to go for exactly what they want to know where you're working so they can get a job there. Fucking weirdos, dude. Like, they just need to stop. And then if you were to see like all of the things that were supposed to work out for you, stop working out for you, and then they start working out for that other person, then I would be like, oh, hell no. Destiny swap, calling my energy and my power back to me and my destiny and everything that goes along with it. And then cut that person out of your life. Even if you loved them so much, if somebody's doing that to harvest off of you, that's not cool. Borderline abusive. 10 of Cups. Your High Priestess ability is going to give you what you need to continue to move forward. Sometimes I fear people wanting to come kill me because I'm a woman and I have abilities and I have my own ability to think. My brain does go there sometimes. However, I just have to trust the universe and trust God and trust, divine timing and my protection, that's not going to happen. Even though it could have in the past, like another lifetime, it's not going to happen this time. This is a lifetime where people should be free to be themselves. And, there's going to be a lot of people needing insight into people's journeys. Like, I feel like testimonies are a very powerful thing. And it's all in what you believe. If you believe that Jesus is the answer, then Jesus will be the answer. But if you believe that you are the answer, first of all, the answers are within you. Jesus, why he meditated so much? Because he went within and he had his own connection to the Father. I feel like the Father, every time he was saying that was not a man sitting in a throne. That is his higher self, like where he came from. And he acknowledged that he came from the divine realm. And that's what people were so pissed off about. That's why if you feel persecuted, it's because you possibly believe the same thing. Well, and what can people do about our personal experience with our own spiritualness? Like, what are they going to do about that? We've already had the experience of connecting with God within ourselves and making that connection. So it's like, how can anybody deny that? We're not looking on the outside of us for an answer. This is why these people are tripping out, because they know that they have to feed the devil either way. And when you are not giving in to this delusional religious psychosis shit, you're not feeding the devil. which the devil is, you don't have to look at it as an actual demon, but it is just like the lowest nature of a human. Like somebody that could be very judgmental, perverted, weird, like greedy, that type of thing. But yeah, this devil energy had these people up under an illusion, and you're not up under it. And so they're like, you know, crucify them. But that's exactly, this is what I'm saying, that they should not be doing that, because that's what does their organization even exist for if they're going to go around doing the same thing to people who are like Jesus, what was done to Jesus? I mean, come on. That's beyond hypocritical. I don't even know what to call that shit. Like, seriously. And you have to understand that, you know, the Buddha was always learning about compassion. Christ, compassionate. Christ consciousness, that high vibration consciousness that you can save yourself from whatever, that is a consciousness of great compassion, great love that goes beyond our normal human capabilities. I'll just say that. But the more that we tap into our higher selves, the more that we tap into the divine, which is all that is positive, love, compassion, joy, peace, the more that we're going to become positive, the more that we're going to have good experiences. And that's just in general. And people are realizing when they're going to church, and I'm not dissing church, okay? Please don't think that. But I'm just reading the energy of when people are going to churches, religions, whatever's, and they still have these problems going on in their life, and they think that religion is going to fix it. And when it doesn't, they get really freaking upset. And they get mad and they look out at everybody else that's not doing religion, that seems to have their problems answered. And they're like, what the fuck? And so this is where this hatred is coming from. So I would not take it personally, you guys, literally. I would not, don't take it personally. When, you know, when people are just sending you that general hatred vibe, don't take it personally. You represent a choice that these people never made, that they could have made. A lot of the times, your guys' success represents to these people decisions that they could have made in the past, but they chose a different path. And so they're pissed off because they're like, I could have been there. I could have been doing that. I could have been with them, etc., you know, et cetera, et cetera. And so sometimes that's all it is. It's sometimes you just smiling can change someone's world for the better, or it can make them really angry. And I feel like, you know, don't take responsibility for other people's emotions, and don't feel like you are the problem. Okay. Yes, there's a reason you drew this situation in, but you are not the problem. Okay. These people, them being hateful, that is the problem. Them being racist, that is their problem. Okay. So don't take on other people's problems. Again, I think racism is stupid as shit. I think that all hating people is also stupid, because why would anybody want to be another person? I can see what everybody goes through. So that's why I don't want anybody else's struggles. I'm good. I'd rather just deal with my own. And, you know, I'm just like everybody else. I do have struggles as well. I just don't put that, it's like blind faith or whatever. I don't put my problems on other people. And I feel like you guys are not doing that as well. You're not being like, oh, I have this childhood trauma, let me just throw it on. Okay, let's make religion fix it. No, therapy. There are people designed to help other people, like therapists, like psychiatrists, okay, like counselors. There are people that exist that have the backing and training, and they have the patience to be able to help people go through their trauma and heal. All right. And so I feel like you guys have gone through a major healing process. What's that? Just fell on the ground. Queen of Wands in the reverse. This is that person that's sending so much hatred to you. Oh my gosh. They're definitely attached to the devil. I'm going to read what it says. It says, indicates a woman over 30, cool, frosty demeanor, classically attractive but aloof, plays games with men's feelings. This person will be unfaithful, naturally thin and attractive without effort, self-absorbed and selfish, not interested in career advancement, works because she has to, controlling, manipulative, and vindictive. So yeah, this person is in the 9 of Swords right now. They're like, I don't understand why. It's because they haven't gone within. Once they go in, this person's going to figure out why everything has gone to shit for them. And they're sitting around waiting for either a Jesus or something else, a church or some type of something else to come in and fix their situation. And this is what I'm saying, is that they have the power to fix their situation because they're the one that caused it. We have everything that we need within us. And if we would just go there, we would literally not need anything on the outside of us. You could also be dealing with somebody that is like, why don't they need me? They don't need me anymore. Why aren't they sad that we're not friends or we're not hanging out? And it's like, you have God. When you have God, you don't need other people, even though other people would be nice to have. You know, there will be people that are in alignment with you, that are in alignment with love, joy, and peace, and that are good for you, okay? And the universe has no problem bringing those people to you. You just have to understand that these other people, they want a piece of the pie. Literally. They want a piece of the pie. That is so freaking weird. Oh my God. What is that doing? That is so weird. Just to let you know, the one real green man, your comment is like, it's doing like a loading thing. I don't know if that's an emoji, but yeah, that's so weird that it's doing that. I've never seen that before. So look, you could be getting to purchase a home. That came up twice, literally, with the 10 of Cups and with the 10 of Pentacles. That's like you being able to move to a new location, you getting something brand new, or something that's even used. I mean, it doesn't matter. A house is a house. Just don't take your old life with you. When you move into a new home, you move into a new area. Oh, it is an emoji. Thank you for telling me. Yeah, don't take your old life with you. Okay? Because sometimes, you know, cutting ties and moving forward is exactly what the divine wants you to do. Okay? And I feel like you use your intuition, so you know when to do that. So when it comes to moving, don't take the old people with you. Allow yourself to go through a healing process of whatever you've just been through. Okay? And know that this new community, this new group of people, they're going to be able to support you, okay? Even though you don't need them. They're still going to be able to support you. So I feel like you moving, you changing cities, countries, states, whatever it is, just do the research about it and know that this move is for your highest and best good. You don't have to, it's a brand new opportunity. You don't have to take anybody from the past with you, except for maybe family members because they're family. But again, that's a whole nother issue. I get that there's a lot of people that still believe that they have access to you, and that's a problem because they are going to try to use that access, like literally, to do something that they shouldn't be doing because they should be minding their own business. 3 of Wands. Yeah, somebody wants to know like what this project, what this business idea is that you're working on. They're like really, really wanting to know desperately about this. They really want to know what you're planning, where you're going, what you're doing, so that then they can invest in it. Not in what you're doing, but invest in doing what you're doing. And this person they really just need to go within themselves and find what they're here to do and stop trying to copy you. Copying you is not going to get this person rewarded. I don't know if they've figured that out yet. They're not going to be rewarded the way that you are, but yeah. I feel like you guys are visionaries. You envision something and then it actually happens. It comes true. You manifest it. This 9 of Swords energy is not your energy. If somebody wants you to be sitting around, laying in the couch all the time, laying in bed all of the time, why? Why does this Queen of Wands in the reverse want that? What the hell is wrong with them? Because that's what they're in. They want misery loves company. Oh, thank you. God bless you guys. Yeah, misery loves company. This person is in bed all of the time because they keep projecting their problems onto others, and other people are tired of this Queen of Wands in the reverse. They're sick of this person. They're like, shut up. Nobody wants to be around this person. You could have been one of their only friends. Six of Wands. And now you're getting public fame and success and honor and moving up in the ranks and moving on. And this other person is like, well, where's my piece of that? This person, they got too used to being in your energy, too used to being in your life, very entitled energy coming from them. If this person got anything off of you in the past, they were being blessed by having you as a friend. Now that you don't want to fuck with them, yeah, they are looking at you getting public fame and honor and recognized and getting to move on and getting to connect with people as, you know, like you're personally dissing them. You're not personally dissing this person. They just are not doing anything in their own life to make their lives better. Okay. And they're focusing on comparing themselves to you. It's not there. You can't compete where you don't compare. This person is comparing, this person has a whole ass other life that they have, like a whole different life. Like seriously, they've made way different choices than you. This person's completely different and they're sitting here comparing themselves to you. You cannot compare yourself to other people. That's silly. I also get that, you know, whatever CERN is doing, and I keep complaining about it, but like whatever they're doing with their experiments, it's fucking with things. You could be seeing like time shifting. You could see, you could look at the clock and be like I've had this experience before. I've looked at the clock, it's been a certain time. Like it says like 3:05. Then I go do 25 different things and I look at the clock again and it still says 3:05 and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like there's no way it's still 3:05. I folded the laundry, I went and got a drink of water, I went outside. How is it still 3:05? I've had those experiences before. I also had an experience where I saw me and my friend, we were walking in this graveyard area. We saw this, I want to say it's like a troll type looking thing. We saw this thing, scared the shit out of us. We ran around a tree, ran around a corner, and it was like 4 hours later. And that's all that happened. Like when our parents were looking for us, they thought that we were like lost, stolen, kidnapped, whatever. Like it was like a big deal. Nope. We walked around. It was some type of weird, I mean, we saw the thing, we ran, and then we went around the tree and it was literally hours later. There's no way to even explain that. Like to what the hell happened. 9 of Wands. And this is what I'm saying. The leap year and all of the stuff that they've created with time, where is that extra time going? Can we have it back? But yeah, the 9 of Wands is these people feeling like they're injured by your success. I don't think that your success is hurting anybody. It's hurting this person's ego, but they just need to look at their ego and be like, okay, is this for my highest and best good to keep trying to compare myself to somebody else? I feel like this Queen of Wands is under the impulse of the devil, or they have something else going on with them that's making them act this way. Hermit, and you're over here going within and finding your own inner light. People think that when they isolate you that they're, you know, putting the last nail in the coffin, and they're really just fast tracking your ascension. Because when you go in and you find your higher self and you find that inner light, then you find your way out of the darkness, and then you don't have to be dependent on other people. And I feel like you guys know how to fill your own cup. You're not going to sit around and be like waiting for somebody to make you happy. That's weird. Magician. Somebody could be saying that you're using magic. Again, there's nothing wrong with magic. Jesus was probably considered a magician. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with using magic if you're doing it on yourself or doing it for the planet in a positive way. Or if you're using herbs to pray, heal, light candles, whatever it is. But if you're using your abilities to hurt people, that's what I consider to be witchcraft. Anybody that's just doing any other type of practice that's not hurting anybody and that's for yourself, I don't see an issue with that. Neither does the spiritual realm. This is why you protecting yourself, you standing in your own power, because the magician is somebody that can stand in their own power. You're also well suited for like being a teacher, a counselor, a leader. You have the powers of concentration, you know, and you have the determination to overcome any obstacle. This is what this person, this Queen of Wands in the reverse, they don't have that. They don't have ambition. They don't want to work. This person wants to steal, cheat, kill, and destroy, and cause suffering. to others because they're suffering. And if they would change their approach to life, their life would get better. I'm serious. The moon. So this person continues to trust. They're like experiencing bad luck and they're waiting for the moon. The moon does not have the ability to steal somebody's destiny. It's just not even possible, you guys. Anybody trying to do that is seriously delusional. Delusional. Yeah, the moon. These people are sitting around waiting for the moon to do something that it does not have the ability to do and would not do if it could. I'm serious. People are freaking weird. What is up with the moon? It also talks about hidden enemies. These people are also very paranoid. Like this Queen of Wands in the reverse has every right to be paranoid because you do know the truth about them. So yeah, their paranoia is not just paranoia. It's like actual, they're afraid because they know that you know. They know that you know, and that's a threat, I guess. I mean, this person was just trying to compete with you. They thought they could use religion to do it, and now they're being shown that they can't use that. They basically would have to be, they would have to have some type of, they're just not in alignment. Not for their destiny, not for yours. This person can be like trying to remote view you or trying to use, because the moon does represent the Eye of Horus. The Eye of Horus is like what you use for remote viewing. Remote viewing is when you're looking at like something. Okay. Remote viewing is like you're looking at a building and you're trying to see inside the building, but you're looking at the outside of it. That's kind of what remote viewing is. But yeah, it is a real thing. I have known somebody that has proved to me that they could remote view. Okay. Just crazy experiences. But yeah, I rebuked that person. I said, nah, they're not gaining any access into my shit. Absolutely not. What they would see, like it literally, when I say no more access, what they see is terrifying. And then they would probably not want to look anymore. And they see angels with flaming swords surrounding me. Yeah. No, that's somebody that's on the bullshit is going to be afraid of that. 8 of Swords. You could be dealing with somebody that is literally going to jail. Maybe they're in court for something. You just need to know that you are divinely protected from prison. That is not your journey. That is not your path. I don't care who these people know. I don't care what their connections are. You will never be forced into any type of lawsuit or any type of battle with this person. Okay. Which is not going to happen. This person feels drained. Maybe they were in a court battle and they're like, I had to face it all alone. It's like, well, this person created the situation all alone. Yes, I see the rings around the moon as well. Yeah, I see colors and then I'll see the moon and I'll see another moon. And then when I focus, it goes into one. But yeah, I definitely see that. Seeing the rings, that's definitely an ability for sure. Yes, recognizing your dreams. You guys listen to your dreams. If you were to have this person or anybody else be showing up in the dream state over and over again, like where you have an issue with them, that's definitely a sign. Looking at your dreams could literally be other lifetimes. A lot of the times when we go into the dream state, we do go into another lifetime. And it just has something to do with whatever's going on in this lifetime. So yeah, your dreams are not random. I would pay attention to that. And then I would, do not eat in your dreams. Do not drink in your dreams. That's signs of witchcraft. If you have a black dog keep showing up in your dreams, that's a sign of witchcraft. If you get bit by something, that's also a sign of witchcraft. There's many dream signs that have to do with witchcraft. Like, seriously. Having your teeth fall out in your dream, that has to do with witchcraft. But use your intuition. The feeling you get in the dream, pay attention to it. Use your intuition. What else do we need to know before we go? So your children are going to be abundant. This other person, they do have children, but their children are not even showing up because they're not a priority to this person. What else? Is there one more important thing we need to know about? Yeah, that your gifts and abilities, naturally you have roots and you outrank this other person and whatever this is. Your children also are going to have these same gifts from God. So this is something that nobody can take from you in your lineage because they were not the ones to give it to you in your lineage. God did. And if God gave it to you in your lineage, that means that you can be trusted with it. You're not going to abuse it. This is why people that don't have power hate people that do, but you have natural power. It's not like you got this power from the devil. Whoever this Queen of Wands in the reverse is, whatever they do, that is of the devil though. It is of a low vibrational energy. I'll just say that. And so they're blaming you for everything that they're doing. Like they're like, "Oh, their gifts are from the devil. They're evil." Everybody that's alive has had a lifetime where they've been somebody that's not a good person and somebody or something, because again, we've been extraterrestrials as well, where we've been something that's good. So again, it's like, do the shadow work. You know this though, that there is like equal balance. We wouldn't be able to understand love if we didn't have the lack of it. I feel like this person, they are like, why am I not seeing the same way? Because they're not doing the same thing that you're doing. Everybody looks at this person like they're guilty, point blank, period. They're not going within. If they were going within and tapping into their higher self, they would not be in the reverse like this, a witch in the reverse looking like a weirdo, attached to the devil. This person is bound to Satan through the illusions that they drank. Not you. You're not bound to that. This is why you're going to, when things get rough for other people, you will always be taken care of. Yeah, somebody doesn't want you to know that about yourself, that you're very efficient. Also, somebody wants you to doubt your intuition so that you renege on how you feel about them or what you said about them. You're not going to just randomly change your mind. You said what you said, you feel the way that you feel, and you're moving forward. Don't take your past with you. It literally takes a lot of compassion to say goodbye to people when they're lying in your face. You know how to spot a liar. You can tell when people are just bullshitting you. I would continue to use your intuition, continue to love yourself, continue to connect with your own connection to God. You're going to go great places. You guys are going to be the teachers, the healers, the shamans, the practitioners of the future. When people are like, wow, who can I go to? You guys will be people that are available. And if you don't want to be in those roles, that's okay. You don't have to. But you're going to teach your children or the generation that comes after you how to do those things, literally. And don't judge your parents. If they didn't know how to unconditionally love you, it means they were never taught that and they were never given that. So you can't really judge somebody that's for not loving you correctly when they didn't even get loved correctly. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing about being a generational curse breaker and being like, it ends with me. All of this generational pattern crap ends with me. It's not going to go into the future with me. Because straight up doesn't need to. When you can call out the pattern and say, I'm going to change that pattern. Even if, this is why I suggest that you guys get the truth of God. Okay? When you see that pattern, do the mind technique, do the God technique, rise above it immediately. Don't just like let it sit in the background and continue to create. This is why I love this book so much. The Truth of God, Advanced Intuitive Living Workbook by Michael Steadman. The mind technique gives you the ability to address it head on, right when it happens. So you can go, okay, and get rid of the mental baggage that keeps the situation happening. The God technique gives you the ability to raise your frequency above it and your consciousness. And like, that's a really big deal. That's a really big deal. It really is. And the joy versus anger technique gives you the ability to ask yes and no questions and get that immediate response back. And it works with clairsentience, which is what everybody has, which is like a gut feeling, you know. So it's extremely powerful, and it's more accurate than muscle testing or a pendulum, where those could give you faulty readings. The Joy versus Sanger technique's not ever going to. And then, the 1 to 10 ratio, if you're asking questions about a certain experience, because when you develop the Joy versus Anger technique, you're going to want to be asking questions. Should I go here? Should I go there? Should I date this? Because your higher self is God. It knows all of the things that are for your highest and best good. So all you need to look at is like, that's not in alignment with my highest and best good, and this is. And if you want to be on the fast track to spirituality, you're just going to do things that are in alignment with your highest and best good. And it just so happens to work out the things that are in alignment with your highest and best good are awesome, and they feel really good. Like, it's not like, I don't know what people think, but literally everything that's in alignment with God feels great, and it's awesome. And maybe this is what this person's so upset about, but they need to take a fucking number, because there's other people that are upset that you have your own connection to God as well. It is what it is. What are they going to do about that? So when I'm asking questions, and be creative with your questions. It's a yes and no answering system, but be creative with it. When I'm asking questions, if I were to get like it to go to be like, maybe almost a maybe, or very reluctant to say yes or no, then I go, okay, instead of asking a yes and no question, I do the 1 to 10 ratio, 1 being the lowest compatible, 10 being the highest. And I look at it on that scale, and then I can ask more questions about why the number is what it is, if I'm not shown already why it is what it is. But knowing the compatibility of things when it comes to relationships and situationships is really important. Okay, so the link to this book is in the description box below. Again, I'm not getting paid to promote this book. I'm literally giving you the secrets. I'm giving you the cheat code to the universe. How I do the things that I do is through my using the abilities that God gave me, and through the knowledge in this book. Okay, so the second book we're going to talk about is the book that I've written, but I didn't write it by myself. I wrote this book with Vassago. Vassago is a Ars Goetia spirit that rules over divination, prophecy, seeing the future, but more like mapping the human consciousness and the human mind. That's what Vassago's interested in. And so the original Rider-Waite, like throughout your lifetime, you will be in every single card position. This is why tarot is such a good map of the human consciousness, because literally throughout your lifetime, you'll be in every single card at a certain point. Okay. And so that's how it maps the human consciousness. So Vassago, God, and I, and the Holy Spirit, we came up with a 14 zodiac tarot card spread. It starts off with the 14 zodiac tarot card spread. Well, it starts off with a prayer first, and then an initiation ritual, but then it goes into a 14 zodiac tarot card spread. And this is so awesome. Vassago was like, have them pull 2 cards for each position. And again, I know there's 12 zodiac signs, but there's actually 2 more, Ophiuchus and Cetus. And so I've added those 2 to this tarot card spread. So for each position, you'll pull 2 cards, one for your south node and one for your north node. Your south node is where your ego's at, your lowest nature. Your north node is where your destiny is at. And then it'll give you the ability to ask more questions, and look into each where you're at in your movement towards your destiny, I would say. This also gives you the ability to integrate the positive traits of other zodiac signs. I have noticed that because I've done these tarot card spreads and spells many, many times. And you can do them infinity times. Like if I were to have a problem in a certain area, I would come to the major arcana. So it starts off with the 14 zodiac, where you have those 2 different placements, and you learn to read those cards. But then it goes into a tarot card spell that helps you to connect with your destiny, and it also helps you with your finances. Okay, so I'm going to read so then we created off of the major arcana cards, and you guys are going to want to get the original Rider-Waite deck, Riderwaite. I put a link to a deck that's in the description box below. That's like one off of eBay. It's like $10, relatively good priced. But yeah, the original Rider-Waite. If you learn the interpretations to these cards, then you can go to any other type of tarot, like Twin Flame Tarot, Santa Muerte Tarot. And when you have you'll have the same name on the card, but it'll give you an abstract picture. If you know the underlining interpretation of the original, then you can go to any of the specialty decks and understand what the underlining energy is, then look at the picture that's on the card. So I'm going to read from one of the tarot card spreads. So there's major arcana cards in the tarot deck, and there's minor. The major arcana cards are the major transitions, like the Magician, the Hermit, the Moon, the Sun, the Empress, the Emperor. The Emperor and the Empress are the highest ranked cards in the deck. The Hangman, the Hierophant, the Chariot. Those are all major arcana cards. The Star, the World. So for each of those cards, we have created a tarot card spread. And so everything that you see on the card, I'll read from the Chariot. Everything you see on the card, there's going to be a position for in the tarot card spread. So let me just look and see. So yeah, the Magician's tarot card spell is to help you manifest your own magic. The High Priestess is for personal enlightenment. Come on. There we go. Okay. So the Chariot. Chariot is number 7. Answer is yes. Zodiac is Cancer. The Chariot can represent a vehicle. Your body is a vehicle for your soul. Your car is a vehicle for your body. The Chariot can also represent the police. It is a card of success, confidence, and determination. The Chariot shows victory over illness, enemies, and financial problems. The goals of the Chariot are achieved through self-control, willpower, and discipline. Hard work pays off. Stay focused on the battle at hand. Take satisfaction in your accomplishments, but avoid arrogance. You are established and respect is earned. The Chariot is in a position of power. So I'm going to read position 3, which is the Chariot driver, which is the person that you see in the picture. This card can reveal the self that is in control of the destination and vehicle that is being driven. This card position can show you how close you are to your final destination. Are you on the right path? Can a quicker way be made? All of those answers can show up in the card that you pull for this position. Position 4 is the Chariot Merkaba, which a Merkaba is your light vehicle. So this card position can show you how your physical body connects into your Merkaba light vehicle. The Merkaba is the light vehicle that transports the soul through different dimensions. If you pull the Chariot card for this position, it could indicate that you have activated your Merkaba light vehicle. If you pull the 9 of Pentacles tarot card for this position, it could indicate that activating your Merkaba light vehicle would be a good idea for you. And then the Chariot spell is to remove obstacles. Then in the back of the book, I have a compendium of knowledge, and I'll read from the Chariot because we were just reading about that, of what it could mean when the different major arcana cards come out one next to each other. That's definitely a sign. So often the Chariot is associated with a vehicle and fast-moving energy. This vehicle could be the Merkaba light vehicle, a vehicle/car, or the vehicle for which you have life, which is your body. The Chariot can also be related to the authorities or police. If you pull the Chariot in the reverse, it could indicate that you are dealing with crooked, corrupt police officers. It also can mean that you are being illegally surveillanced by the authorities. If you pull the Chariot with the Justice Tarot card, it could indicate that the justice system may be involved. If you pull the Chariot and then pull the Empress in the reverse, it could indicate that DCFS or Child Protective Services may be involved. If you pull the Chariot card and then pull the Devil card, it could indicate that an officer of law is possessed or under the influence of demons. If you pull the Chariot, then the 8 of Swords card, it could indicate that someone will be going to jail or prison in the future, especially if they stay on the same path. If you pull the Chariot, then the 8 of Cups, it could indicate that the authorities have to walk away from their investigation of you or whoever you're reading for. And it just keeps going and going and going, you guys, but you get the gist. So you will need, for the Vassago tarot card spreads and spells, you will need the original Rider-Waite deck, RYDERWAITE. I have put a link to one that's in the description box below. And again, the links to these books and the deck is in the description box below. Check it out, you guys. It's going to change your lives for the better. And I love that. And I'm so happy that you guys spent your time with me here today. I'm so grateful for you being with me. And I'm also grateful for you connecting with God and your higher self. And I love you guys so much. Just know that the light will always come to shed itself upon the darkness, which will reveal things for you. So keep using your intuition, okay? I'm very proud of you. God is very proud of you. We love you so much. Thank you guys for liking the video, sharing the video, commenting, subscribing. All of that really helps this platform. So, and hyping the video so that the algorithm can pick these messages up and then get them to whoever they need to be. And the transition of power is happening. And you know what? It'll take off as it's meant to. You know, that's the good thing about you being here, me being here, is that we're still putting in the effort and we don't have a problem with connecting with God. So just remember, when things get difficult, especially if you are moving or going through a transition, that your connection with God yourself inwardly is what's going to help you rise above the situation. And if you do end up getting the truth of God, anytime that you have something come up, go to doing the God technique and the joy versus anger and the mind technique. That way you can get rid of the thoughts and beliefs that were creating the situation so that you just don't. For me, that's what I have to do for the reality to change. And then the reality does shift. But I also get that CERN is doing some fucked up things right now, still, consistently. And it's messing with everybody's reality. But we'll be okay. In times where other people will not be okay, you guys will. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for spending your time with me. Peace be with you. Have a wonderful evening, you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Also, I have another platform called the Psychic Tarot Angel Oracle. Just to let you guys know. Okay. All right, you guys. Bye. God bless you.